Hey there, today we have the moon continuing in Scorpio as we head to the full moon on Monday, and how perfect and appropriate to have a Scorpio full moon on or around Mother's Day, thinking about that amazing, incredible, transformative power of motherhood and bringing new life into the world and all the complexities that can come with being a mother, having a mother, knowing a mother, right? There's a lot of complexity to sometimes those relationships. And so this Scorpio full moon can help us dive a little deeper into our own truth, whether it has to do with mothers or not, this deeper place of knowing ourselves and how we do our own mothering and our own process of rebirth when that is what we need to do. I'm Marina Orms here with your Astro Vibe and Astro Perspective for Sunday, May 11th. Tomorrow is the exact full moon in Scorpio, and that full moon is exact at 9:55 a.m. Pacific time at 22 degrees Taurus and Scorpio. So the moon's at 22 degrees Scorpio, the sun is at 22 degrees Taurus, and Uranus sitting right there next to the sun at 26 degrees, almost 27 degrees Taurus. So we have that energy of Uranus being pulled into this full moon and the energetics of this full moon. So full moon in Scorpio, which happens usually once a year. It can happen more than once on occasion, rarely, but when we have that Scorpio full moon, we we have the fullness of the full moon coming to fruition, something being revealed, something being illuminated, which is what happens with a full moon, is we get that full reflected light from the moon illuminating literally our environment, right? The full moon at night lights, it's obviously not as bright as the sun, but it creates light right at nighttime and kind of illuminates the darkness. And how appropriate is that, especially to think about with the full moon in Scorpio? So Scorpio is that deepest water sign. It helps us tap into a deeper truth that helps us know ourselves more fully, more honestly, more truthfully, and that self knowledge, if we are willing to be with ourselves in that process of transformation that is not always comfortable, right? It can take us into some difficult truths, some challenging places emotionally, some hard things to look at and move through. But that Scorpio energy truly does help us to transform. So it helps us come to terms with where we need to be honest with ourselves and release old things that are not, we don't need them anymore, right? They're not serving us any longer, the same way in the process of nature. Once a plant is done releasing its seeds, the flowers die back, right? Sometimes the plant dies back. So we have this natural rhythm of life that has to do with birth and growth and coming to our fullness and our creative potential, and then releasing. So Scorpio has to do with that process of releasing what we are done with, but also making room to be more powerful beings, to take with us the knowledge, the experience, the wisdom that we have gained from the hard things often we have been through. Sometimes they're not hard, but whatever brings wisdom and knowledge and experience, can be something that you take with you in that process. So you release what you don't need and you take with you what does help and serve you going forward. And that rebirth process can mean emerging into new awareness, new ways of being, new creative possibilities. Just think about how the caterpillar goes into its cocoon as a caterpillar and then emerges as a butterfly. And that transformative process that takes place in the realm of mystery inside that cocoon, it is really happening at those deeper levels that are hidden, that are mysterious. So, what is happening? What is unfolding for you in your life that has to do with shedding the past, with releasing old ways of being, old patterns, habits, old anything that isn't going to be with you going forward, that you don't need anymore? It might be coming baggage or dead weight, so things that are ready to be released. And often this is emotional, right? So emotional things that we are releasing, ways we are stepping into new possibilities with that feeling of lightness. Think of the butterfly and how light the butterfly is with those delicate wings, and it can fly, right? So thinking about yourself, what you're stepping into that has more lightness, more freedom, more ability to fly, to get where you're going, right? To really accelerate and step into new possibilities. So that's the power of the Scorpio full moon. It is often complicated and there are different layers and things to come to terms with. So again, thinking about where you need to be honest with yourself, where you are releasing what no longer serves you. Thinking too about, with this energy of Mother's Day, that feels appropriate to be thinking about creative power and how we use our creative power, and maybe some ways that we have stepped into our who we are in the past that are going to change, that are having these shifts and changes occur so that we can step more fully into our empowerment, which can have that greater feeling of lightness. With the planet Uranus also being coming into the energies of this full moon, we have that energy of what is shifting and changing at foundational levels. Taurus is about normal and what is normal and what is real and what is true and what you can count on from day to day. And Scorpio reminds us that what is real and normal and we count on from day to day can also change. So that experience of destabilization, of recognizing that the ways of operating from the past, our ways of understanding things, our ways of grounding, our ways even of understanding reality and how reality works, can feel really solid and can feel really impenetrable, like it is what it is, and how could you ever think of that changing? And yet it can change. And Uranus is the energy of change and shake up to what is normal, what is stable, what is real, what we count on and depend on. And this Scorpio full moon activating that Uranus energy of shift and change and really asking us, what is it inside of you that needs to change to keep up with the changes that are happening in the world around you? And not just thinking of this in positive and negative terms, like, whether you like or don't like what is changing in the world. The question here is, how are you stepping into the possibilities here? How are you stepping into a deeper place of empowerment for yourself? What is awakening in your life? What are you becoming? What are you stepping into that allows you to be more creative, more powerful, more like that butterfly that can now move more easily, has that lightness and freedom to leave the tree. The caterpillar is stuck in the tree eating leaves all the time. I don't know. I'm not a caterpillar scientist, but I'm just imagining what that feels like. So bring that into your experience and a lens that you are looking at your life through right now. So, how are you stepping into freedom? What does that look like for you? What does power and empowerment look like and feel like? And how is the way that the world is changing around you supporting your empowerment? Because when you look deeply enough, that is happening at some level. So look for those places. And we are in the Taurus moon cycle. We have the sun in Taurus during this full moon. So thinking also about how you are grateful, what you are grateful for, what is working for you in your life, what you appreciate and value. And that might be changing. So noticing what is shifting and changing, but also having that sense of wonder to value and appreciate some new opportunities that are coming in, even while things might be changing. There might be some places where those changes are hard, some ways that those changes are hard, and bringing in this recognition that you are changing, you are transforming on the inside to take advantage of the opportunities for empowerment in the world around you. So look for the opportunities and remember and recognize that those opportunities may not be where you have looked for them before. So opening to where this experience of lightness and freedom might be that you're not necessarily expecting it to be, and having that sense of gratitude and wonder and appreciation for the gifts that life brings can help you to practice practice gratitude, practice appreciation, because then you can start to notice as you pay attention, oh, here is this thing that actually is opening up for me. Here is this thing that I hadn't thought about doing, but now I'm thinking about trying it. Here is this thing that I didn't think I would do, but now it looks like it might be a a path forward for me. So thinking outside the box, which is the energy of Uranus, but also recognizing that outside the box could be hidden where you can't necessarily see it, or where you didn't think to look, but also you didn't think that you were looking. It might already be there. So in other words, be curious, be in wonder, be in gratitude. Remember that the world is a magical place. Scorpio is about magic and mystery. So when you remember that the world is a magical place, that there are ways that things shift and change, and being open to how that might be showing up in your own life, open to those new pathways that are opening up, even as some doors close, maybe some other ones open, and that just recognizing that the doors may look completely different than you are expecting, and those pathways of transformation might have to do more with your own inner work and your own capacity to be honest and truthful with yourself, and to work through some of those deeper places of healing, of release, of letting go of the past, of letting go of old identities and ways of being, which can be hard because we get attached to those, but also it's opening up new possibilities. And sometimes we just have to trust. Sometimes you have to let go of one thing before the next thing comes in, but you have to trust that it will be there, that that way forward is calling you, right? And asking you to let go of old ways of doing things so that you can be ready when the new thing comes along. I don't know what that will look like for you in your life. I am just suggesting that you might be open to that as a possibility as you consider your own places of growth and what is coming up for you in your life. This could be helpful as a lens to look at those things through and to recognize that things are changing, you are changing, and that can be a good thing if you trust the process and look for the magic and look for the ways that things are changing in to bring in the new as well as releasing the past. If you are interested in learning more about how this shows up for you, getting some support in what may be coming up for you, I am doing some mini readings for this Scorpio full moon. I have some times available on Sunday, May 11th, and sometimes available on Monday, May 12th, which is when the full moon is exact. And if depending on if I need to, I might open up some more times, but I'm starting with those. And if this speaks to you, they're $45, but you get $10 off if you join my member program as a $5 a month subscriber. So check that out. I've got the links for all of that in the description for this video. And again, a mini reading can give you some incredible insight into just how you can look at your life through this lens of what is unfolding and how that energy is showing up, how the energy of this Scorpio full moon is showing up for you, what that might look like, how you can think about it, how you can access the path of empowerment, and what that looks like to have a way to frame what is showing up for you in your life. Really powerful stuff, powerful time. So these mini readings can help you get some insight into your own chart and your own process. $45, but it's $10 off if you are a paying member for my member site. So the links are down below in the description of this video to sign up as a member and get that coupon code to drop the price from 45 down to 35. And thank you so much for joining me on this adventure. If you have any questions, I'm still working on the technology for setting all of this up. I'm super excited to do the mini readings. And if we have any issues or confusion about how to sign up for it, please just send me an email, info@astrologyheals.com. Astrologyheals.com is my website. I'm Marina Orms. I've been doing this for over 30 years and realize that you just can get some really powerful insight that can help you with your own process. So I love the energy of astrology and how it can help us. Thanks so much for being here. And I am here every day with Astrology for Unshakable Self-Care. Looking forward to this Scorpio full moon and getting the most out of the process of transformation and change. Thanks for being here and subscribing. I will see you next time. Bye for now.